stream markers today. This is fun. All right, now we have Oncoming Shower and the Barren Moor. The Barren Moor is a tribal camp settlement to the north of Arisgoth. The settlement lies between North Crook and Cadogan. In an area that is predominantly barren of vegetation other than a small druid grove that has been tended over the past year. Okay, let's zoom in. The camp is a mercenary settlement, and their only trade is the people to guard caravans. Their only trade is in people to. Only trade is in towns and themselves. The town only consists of lizard folks and 4 human druids who were previously slaves of the tribe until the death of the previous military leader in the hands of Emrys Dragsindu. Okay, wow. Okay. Their only trade is in people to guard caravans, towns, and themselves. Okay, so so this sentence on closer reading makes a little bit more sense, but you may want to add some punctuation or figure out how to. Okay, their only trade is in people to guard caravans. Okay, on first reading, I thought they were slave traders, but now it sounds like they're just hired muscle for a security. They're a security firm. That's what it's. If it so if you could reword that sentence, that'd be cool. Okay, demographics. Barren Moor is made up of only lizard folk, save it for the 4 humans that have been adopted by the Trave after a slavery incident. They keep all amongst themselves, and it is rare they leave the tribe for anything other than work. They keep to themselves and prefer to stay out of the business of Araggoth as a whole, but they will intervene when it is desperately needed. Okay, hired muscle. Good. Okay, see you, Mr. Starna. Thanks for coming by. Okay, I would like to see desperately needed expanded. What is an example? Is there a history of something that is a. What is the morals of these people? When you think about, when you say desperately needed, how much desperation is required before they will act of their own will without financial compensation? Because if they're hired muscle who like to be secluded, it would be interesting. They get involved if their own tribe is at risk. Okay, that would be a good thing to explain as well. Okay. Not that. Okay, Barren is a craterocracy ruled by the strongest, ruled by their chief Jazz. The chief is elected by winning a battle against the previous leader and killing them. Okay. Previously, the tribe had been run by 2 chiefs, 1 military and 1 domestic, but after the takeover by the Emrys and the handover to Jazz as full chief of the entire tribe, it is unclear whether this tradition will continue. I would say the tradition of a single chief, will continue. Just to make sure we know exactly what tradition you're referring to, and I don't think adding those 4 words would make the sentence too long or too complicated. Defenses. At Barren Moor is defended by the people that inhabit it predominantly. They are well-trained fighters and are able to hold off most threats that come their way. Their other defense is the lack of resources nearby, which cause the area to be almost uninhabitable for most races. Really good points that you bring up there about they have found a space to be safe because it's so inhospitable to other humanoids. I really like that. Infrastructure of Barren Moor is focused around training and being strong. They pride themselves on being a strong tribe, even those that are older or smaller within the tribe. They are built in a barren place, so water and food is hard to come by. So they focus on gaining their resources from the druids that grow food for them and trade deals with Inham farms. Okay. Guilds and factions. Yeah, they basically found a space that no one else wanted to live. Yeah, totally makes sense. Um, as one of the youngest settlements, Barren Moor has little history to go by. They settled less than 25 years ago and came from overseas. Okay. That definitely is something that you could expound upon. Where overseas? Are they the only lizard folk settlement in this place? Is overseas predominantly lizard folk? And so these are the strangers that have come over. You can set up a little bit more understanding of the demographic as compared to the island or the continent in its entirety. Natural, okay, because it would be interesting to know um, if the reason why there's such valuable hired muscle for security is if they're the only lizard folk tribe on that continent or in the country. Yeah, I haven't thought about it, but my thoughts are tabaxis and lizard folk came from overseas, but it might be think working about. Tabaxis are the cat people, right? They're the only tribe in Arasgoth for sure. Okay, yeah, all right. Um, Tabax. Okay, tabaxis are the cat people. Okay, so the population of your island, your continent, your country is primarily humanoid. No, not humanoid. Human with lizard folk and tabaxis as small minorities living in their own separate settlement. Okay. See, that's good to know because then you know of potential conflicts that can arise. Human, elves, dwarves, and gnomes. Oh, okay. So you do have a lot of different species. What kind of gnomes? I'd be interested in that. Um, because there's so many varieties of gnomes. Are you just um, are gnomes like your halfling hobbits, or are gnomes like more feral creatures? Are they garden gnomes? Well, they're they're halflings, but would you consider them well yeah, Harry Potter's garden gnomes? Um it's based on D&D races. Okay, I don't know the D&D gnomes well enough. If someone has a link to a description, I don't know if D&D Beyond has a public link to explain what gnomes are. That would be awesome. Okay, Barren Moor has no natural resources as it is a barren plain. Okay, good to know. However, the rocks that can be found here are sturdy and can be building strong defenses. The settlement is a tribal spread of tents and smaller man made gardens tended by druids. Okay. All right, so this is some good information. Let's go in here to the map. Okay, it's a kind of a small map. Okay, so we have the ocean. We have different things. Okay. Um, Barren Moor. Okay, found it. Okay, good to see. Good to see. I do like the natural resources. I would kind of go on. Um, that's a regional map. Okay. And looking at the garden gnomes. Oh, okay. So gnomes. Um. Okay. So are gnomes just hobbits? That okay? That's a halfling. Oh, so halflings and gnomes are different. So are halflings more farmers and gnomes more rangers? Halflings are hobbits. Okay. So okay. It seems to me that a gnome is more like a cross between a fairy and a halfling. Gnomes are like tinkerers and like Santa's helpers. Okay. Yeah, okay. The halflings were called hobbits once, but copyright got in the way. Yeah, that's fair. But all in all, I think this is a great start of an article, and there's a lot of rooms for expansion, but only expand this if it is pertinent to your world or pertinent to your story. Because I think you have enough information here if this is a side story. But if you were to, I'm coming from the point of view of an author and not a tabletop role playing game. This is sufficient if the lizard folk of the Barren Moor are just ancillary or side or background characters. I wouldn't spend more time on this. Yeah, okay, if this is a side place, then you have enough information. However, if you were to try to tell a story where lizard folk of the Barren Moor is a primary character and is then going into the world to seek their own adventure, then I would say that would then need more information. Okay, gnomes don't really have a Tolkien counterpart. In Vanilla 5e, the only race that can have 20 intelligent without equipment. Wow. Okay. Well, I forgot to set a timer on that, but it's 7:05. 20 intelligence? So annoying my Windows keep trying to update and take all the bandwidth. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I kind of like the gnome. That gnome sounds kind of cool. Okay, the full map. Let's and okay. Wow. Nice map. I'm trying. So, please someone make garden gnomes into a fantasy species. So where would the Barren Moor be? Not seeing it. Oh, there it is, Barren Moor, right there. Yeah, that does look like it's a barren up near the mountains. Okay. Inham Farms. Okay, there. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that.